I believe that by using available information, the conclusion I come to is that the cost of the electric power from Site C will substantially exceed its market value. BC Hydro has stated that the cost will be $100 plus per megawatt hour. The current market price for electric power at Mid-C is around $30 per megawatt hour. The difference between that is $70 per megawatt hour. 100 minus 30 is 70. That's a joke. If you multiply that number times the 1,100 gigawatt hours a year that it will be the annual energy production from that facility, you come up with a loss of $350 million a year under current economic situation. Now, the market for electric power, largely at Mid-C, which is the closest one to BC, and throughout the Northwest, really, has been determined in recent years by the price of natural gas and the heat rate for a combined cycle natural gas turbine. There has been a great expansion in the Northwest of natural gas turbine generation, largely as a result of the serious crisis in California in early 2000, so that there is a surplus capacity of combined cycle natural gas generation available throughout the interconnected area of BC Hydro. So these plants operate when the incremental cost of producing the electric power is less than the market value. If you take the heat rate, which is the amount of natural gas required to produce a megawatt of power, which is about 7, multiply it times the current price of natural gas, which is about $4 a gigajoule, you come up with $28, which is very close to the ongoing market price currently for natural gas at Mid-C and other markets throughout Western North America. It seems very unlikely to me, given the rapid development and availability of low-cost gas throughout North America, and quite frankly, other parts of the world. This shale gas development is not confined to North America. It's very unlikely to me that there's any possibility that the natural gas price would increase by a factor of 3.5, which would be required in order to achieve a situation where the cost of the electric power from BC Hydro Site C project would be equal to its market value. Almost impossible to conceive. This project is just fundamentally uneconomic. It's turning gold into lead. It's sacrificing, it's going to have a legacy of wealth destruction. The $7.9 billion is going to sap the province's ability to raise money and borrow money to do other things such as infrastructure, hospitals, schools, all the things that we need to do. The most cost-effective option is buying on the open market. This is precluded today by the provincial policy on self-sufficiency. You can't plan to buy electric power on the open market. Yet BC Hydro has been bringing electric power into BC for decades. It has served our basic needs, and as we have ramped up our use of imported power, then we can bring on a big lump of hydropower and have a market for it. This whole thing is just totally economic disaster, needs to be thrown out. The provincial government needs to put this thing on hold until such time as it can make a reasonable business case that there are benefits to this project for British Columbians. Thank you.